I have one. What is your secret to longevity as far as being consistent with your training, your nutrition, and this is for both of you all actually, with as much as you travel, all the engagements that you have, staying consistent. I know, Phil, you'll train late at night. What is your secret to staying on point with your nutrition and your training with the schedule, the schedule that you have?
I mean, I think what for me is if you're trying to be perfect, you have to, have perfect practice. Everybody says practice makes perfect. I definitely don't believe in that because a lot of us practice some bad habits. One thing I did learn was when I was playing basketball in college is that, we had a strict schedule, but in bodybuilding, it's kind of similar, but not the same. The body is way more dynamic, and you definitely have to know what foods interact a certain way. Every prep that I've done for the Olympia is different. Every off-season has been different. The traveling hurts the body more than any other athlete. But I've traveled over 30 hours just the past 2 weeks. And just being above 38,000 feet in the air, just being in a pressurized cabin, your cells within the muscle, they're going through hell. And then when you finally land, they retain fluids, this and that. And now you're trying to do appearances, and you're being photographed every 5 seconds. Basically, the minute I get on a trip, I try to get as organized as possible with the hotel, making sure they have decent food, making sure there's food around the area, making sure that there's a gym within distance that I can have for 24 hours. For the average person, it may not be the case because when you're traveling for business, you have late dinners, you have conference calls, you have a lot of meetings, et cetera, and so forth. I guess to sum it all up, you definitely have to do your due diligence, making sure that you know where you're traveling to. If you can pack meals, do it. There's plenty of meal companies around the areas of every city, every state. And as far as training, you just really have to make it a priority. Maybe understand that the machines and the dumbbells may not feel the same at your normal gym, but you got to do something. Like last night, I trained late, and no, I didn't squat 500 pounds. I didn't do that, but I got something out of it. Got a little bit more intensity doing, 200-300 pound squats, and then I realized that when I get back to Denver, that's when I can go at full speed. Consistency is everything, but just making sure that you're getting enough rest and you're not overindulging on foods that make no sense. It's very hard to do it. We do it as best as we can. We all travel on tour. It's very, very crazy. But I can tell you what, if he and I can travel over 200,000 miles a year and still look the way we do, there's really no reason why you guys can't. You just have to really know.
And that's what, to answer a couple of your questions you asked was, how do we do it with traveling and stuff? I've been doing this since '83 and traveling and stuff. And so one of the things is, it is so much easier today than it is back in the day, before electricity. So it's one of those things with now there's no excuses, like he was saying. There's just absolutely no excuses to miss meals and stuff. It's as important for me, pair of underwear and socks to go on your trip. I'm already planning the meals. So that's first and foremost. So it's the consistency of the meals now. It's so easy, like you're saying. There's companies that will ship your meals. There's companies that already have your meals there at the hotel. So you're not missing anything that way. The whole approach to traveling and doing it is accepting it. Know that you have to do it. That's why we became pros and why we're out here doing what we're doing. And so that traveling is just something that's going to happen. Enjoy it. It's not a hardship. It's something that we get to enjoy and do. So you get to wake up and kind of keep living our dreams. So for us, people say, well, how can you train at 4 in the morning? Or how do you train at 11 at night? Guys, we don't have to go to the office every single day. We get to do this. So it's the concept of us going to be able to play basketball and go to martial arts. It's fun for us. So as long as this is fun for you, and as long as your mindset is this is your dream, this is what you want to do, you're not going to miss. You're going to stay consistent and not do it. For longevity, to answer your question, is my training is based around blunt force trauma. So it's all about it's powerlifting is all about strength. Bodybuilding is about physique. Mine is about longevity and being able to be functional throughout my life. So the blunt force trauma is more connective tissue, bone density, that kind of stuff. That way it doesn't matter if I'm 300 pounds or ripped down to 240, my strength is the same. And so that's what's kept me together and injury-free throughout my career, and kept me here since 1901.
Could you expound on that, please?
Well, basically, my approach to training is nervous system, first and foremost, with the first exercises and heavy weights. I never go light. I don't take time off. I'm an overtrainer. And I understand the other aspect of that. It's one of those things is when you get into a game, you're playing and you can't stop. That's kind of how my approach is. If I wanted to just do bodybuilding, I'd have to completely, and I'm saying this to everybody, completely back off. Do what I say, not what I do, is what I say to people that follow me. There's no reason to do leg day 3 days in a row, that kind of stuff. But again, my approach is heavy weights all the time for me. And blunt force trauma is like Wolf's Law. It's the connective tissue and the bone density that gets stronger. It's like to explain this in simple form, a boxer, an average human can punch a wall with 500 pounds of pressure is about the limit. Anything more than that, his hand breaks. Except the boxer could do 1,000 pounds. It's because of the continuous pounding. So he's actually created a superhuman hand. And that's my method of training.
Have any of you guys ever been injured, like tore anything? And have you guys recoup or like train around that?
I've never been injured, but I've worked with a lot of guys with missing ligaments, arms, and stuff like that. And again, it goes back to the functional training, work for them. I think we train smart for what we do. So yeah, I haven't been injured. I've had tweaks, but I just continue forward. And
What
they
about
go away.
tendinitis?
Yeah, a lot of tweaks here and there. I came from a basketball background, so my ligaments and tendons, as far as like my ankles and stuff, hurt like hell. I'm nursing my hand right now because I have like something's going on with one of my fingers. I can't really bend it, a certain way, and it's just stuff that I have to go get looked at, when I'm back home. When I was getting ready for the Olympia in 2011, I realized something that I don't think a lot of professionals think of. It isn't about training hard or even training smart, it's about how fast can I recover. If I can recover faster than my opponent, then I actually get stronger faster. My muscle rejuvenates faster. I get bigger faster. So yeah, every year I have some type of tweak. I'm almost torn this pec off 3 times. I have a separated shoulder on this one 2 times playing basketball. I've had, hyperextensions of knees. I've twisted ankles. I've had low back pain from car accidents. I've had normal stuff. I guess it happens. Every year getting ready for the Olympia, my lower back goes out because of how lean I get and how dry I get, and then the recurring injury from. I got in a car accident really bad when 10 days out before the 2005 Mr. USA when I won my program. I bought, real quick story, I won the junior nationals, got a leader sponsorship. I had taken that signing bonus and I bought a car. Because my car, and the reason why I did it is because the car I had prior got caught in a flood and it tore it off the fence. So I needed some type of form of transportation. So long story short, I signed off to get the car. I drive back to my place, and just like any meathead, we grab our CDs, put them in the CD changer. I got my short shorts, I got my NPC tank top, the stringer, and I got the Sean Ray style head bandana going on, and everybody thought I looked like Sean Ray back then, so I was like, okay, this is who I want to emulate. I get in the car, 3 blocks later I get rear-ended, and I get in a multiple car pileup. Car is pretty much damn near total, and then I was fine, I thought, and then after a couple of days I got sore and my back went out, and I was able to, that's when I started going to the chiropractor and getting massage and all that stuff. But ever since then, every year, my back goes out to the point where I can't raise my hands up, and that's why I actually fly out my therapist to the Olympia. So we all go through stuff. we just don't talk about it until we get in front of you guys. A lot of athletes usually don't want to talk about it because they think it detracts sponsorships. Because who wants to have a limit? You don't want to, put yourself out there like you're injury prone. But let's face it, we're basically, I don't know for your style of training, I mean, you got to be a specimen to train like how he does. And I would probably say the same for me too, without getting really injured. But it's because we understand our limits. We know when to go crazy, and we know when to kind of back off just a little bit. We know. Your body just knows. And I've been very fortunate. I haven't torn anything. I've come close, and that's why I'm 35 now, and I turned pro when I was 25. I'm training with a greater sense of urgency and understanding that for me to go watch an old school Dorian Yates Blood and Guts and Ronnie Coleman video and try to squat 800 pounds, it's probably not going to happen in this lifetime. And that's got to be okay. I don't have to be concerned with trying to impress some guy at the local gym or even at your gym. Because think about it, when I'm traveling the world and I go to your gym, I'm not under the same working conditions as you. You went to work on the same schedule, eat the same thing, train the same gym. I'm sleep deprived, I'm dehydrated, and here I am trying to impress you. I'm going to get injured probably doing that. And, that's where the ego has to be checked at the door. You understand what your limitations are, and it's got to be okay, because for me, all that really matters is this stays right here for 2 days. If I go out and do something ignorant, I get injured, and it sets me back 6 months. Think about it. If I get injured, I can't really nurse that injury. I can't just say, like in football, if you pull your groin or something, you can be out 6 weeks. Bodybuilding, you can't be out 6 weeks. No, it's impossible. To be able to compete at this level, I can be injured, and I still have to train around and train through.
I think one of the funniest things Arnold ever said was his job was to look good, not to be strong. If he gets injured, that takes that out. I know it's off the subject on what you were saying, but just understand that when it comes to training and stuff like that, do keep your ego in check. Don't get into a battle with somebody and try to impress anybody. This is about you, and this is about your best in that aspect of it. Tweaks happen, injuries happen, little things happen. The one thing I 100% believe in is the time off is not something I do. And something when I work with people, I don't give them time off. When they get an injury, it's right back into it, right back into rehabilitating it, right back to getting it working, the movement again, and that's the big thing. With other stuff like arthritis or bad shoulders and stuff like that, it's the continuous motion that helps it the best it can relative to just completely stopping. And most people that I know, and you probably know it through the years, is when somebody hurts something, they just go completely done. And a doctor needs to say that too. If you hurt your back and you go see a doctor has to basically say, to protect himself, stop lifting, go away, take 6 months off, you'll be fine, come on back. And I just disagree with that. It's continuous motion and stuff like that. I was working with a massage therapist in Vegas that works with the UFC and the NFL. And the one thing he fights is when one of the ball players gets hurt, they go, okay, you're bedridden, you're done. He goes, no, we got to keep moving. We got to, before, most of these injuries, a lot of it is mental.
Yeah.
It really is. And a little tweak, oh man, those deadlifts, that's bad for you. I'm never doing that again. You can get hurt on any exercise, a Nautilus machine. So it's just the continuous going.
I think what he's saying too is important, because when you're resting, you're not increasing blood flow. So you got to increase blood flow to that area so it does recover. So obviously, training will increase that for sure. And just being smart. I mean, hell, like I said, I've had shoulder injuries and stuff. But yet, one of my best body parts now is my shoulders. And maybe that's why, I've had numerous articles in Flex magazine because of shoulder development. But that's probably because I didn't rest. When I hurt my shoulders and I started bodybuilding, they're like, well, you got to start from square one. Little 5-pound weights. I'm like, really? I got to do this stuff? They're like, yep, I got to rehabilitate this stuff. Okay. And now it's, gradually increasing to where I can do a lot more resistance. And it's because I didn't take time off. You know, I've sprained knees and stuff like that. Yeah, you know, once you get the swelling down, I mean, yeah, you're back in there doing it all over again. You may have to start with a lower weight, but you slowly get back to where you once were.
Let me ask you guys a question. You guys all take about a week off every like 3 or 4 months, yeah? Nope. Beasts. Okay, so there's times in our schedule where you fly in, you fly out, you fly in, you fly out, and you miss a couple. And for me, I feel worse. I feel worse not training. I get stiffer. You know, I can feel everything relative to the days that you're in there and you're breaking it and busting it. So
I actually want to take days off. So we're on tour. So get this, you train for 4 months for the Olympia. You might go party that night, but you got 2 to 3 days of photo shoots all day. So you have to rebound and fight against that and then look good for these photographs. Because you got to think, for me, I'm only doing 1 show a year, so you're only going to get that shot once. And those images have to last a lifetime, really. So thereafter, I'm traveling. I travel to South Korea. I got to do appearances over there. I got to come home for a day or two. Got to go to Prague. I'm living out of a suitcase for the next 2 more months, right? I'm thinking to myself, okay, I need a vacation. So I schedule a vacation with my girlfriend. They're like, okay, my birthday is December 18th. All right, from the 17th to the 22nd, 23rd, I'm going to go to Mexico. I'm going to just hang out, do whatever I want. What's the first thing I do when I go look at a resort? Do they have a damn gym? And I'm thinking, okay, for the month of December, you know, I have my last guest posing. It's December, I believe, December 6th or 7th in Moscow. Obviously, I gotta look decent because I know Deshaun Jackson and Sean Roden gonna do this. So I'm like, I can't look like shit in front of these guys. But I'm fighting the rebound. My body's telling me, okay, you gotta kind of slow it down a little bit. I'm gonna get home and I'm gonna want to not train. And the minute I stop training for a week, all the aches and pains start coming out. For some reason, something says, okay, I can relax. And then my body will shut down. But yeah, you know, time off, you just can't do it. In our profession, it's just like, you either get better or you get worse. I don't want to stay here. I want to get better.
and it's one of the things he's saying too. I don't know if you agree with this. This is what we do for us. It's not what we recommend. I do recommend time off. I do recommend, if you can, take a week off. You know, get your rest days in. Again, that's me as a trainer saying that's what you should do. But it's hard for us to do it. So,
I guess
it's hard to take a day off, man. No, it's.
You feel like crap. You know, I can't do it.
So do you
I guess I'll stop at some point.
So do you do like a deload? So like powerlifters, they'll do like a deload where they go in and just do like the bar for.
I recommend it. I don't do that. But like he was saying, like don't try to go in and just do like 40 minutes. Okay? So yeah, you know, that's something, and I do recommend it 100%.
That 40 minutes though is still like intense. But it's a different focus, right? I'm trying to learn like when I'm doing that type of training, it's more instinctive. I'm thinking, okay, what injuries do I have? Okay, let's train around this. All right, what movements haven't I done in a while? Like if I'm doing legs or something, I'll go old school and do like Jeffersons and stuff. I'll do like stuff I didn't even do for the prep. And now I'm thinking, this is the time where I can learn about my body a different way. I can try new stuff in my off season. Because really, my off season, and I advise everybody on this is where you learn. It's not the pre-contest where you learn. Pre-contest, this is just a dress rehearsal. This is just a constant dress rehearsal for the show. Off season is where you find out what foods to eat, what supplements to take, timing, all this other. That's when you play around with it. You don't go, hey Phil, man, I'm 3 hours out from stage. Like, what do I do with my salt? I get these questions if you guys follow me on social, right? So it's like, no, that's what your off season's for. So for me, there's no time off on anything. My mind is going crazy. And if I were to train someone, I'd say, well, it just depends on how far you want to take it. If you want to be average, okay, well then yeah, 3-4 days a week of training, you know, time off, and yeah, you know, you have wife and kids and job. I totally understand. But if you're saying I want to do a contest, even on an amateur level, I'm like 6 days a week, maybe even 7 of days a week of cardio, depending on how you look and your genetics. Oh, I can't do that. Well, you can't do this. This ain't for everybody. I'm sorry. It's just the commitment is, with martial arts, the commitment is huge, even for that. Like Sensei Sifu was going to say, you got to be in here. You got to take this serious. You can't just come in when you want and be like, oh yeah, I'm going to do these katas and stuff. I compete in ice skating too, so I mean, I get it. I'm with you on that. So I understand, and that's what we try to remind you guys. Like, it's what level do you want to be in? It's not bad if you want to just, go in there and get something, a little, I just want to get a little pump feel. I just want to, or hey man, I'm trying to get huge.
Something he was saying too was, and I get this a lot, which confuses me. When somebody gets ready for a show, they're 100% on the deck, right? You guys are basically like 100% on the diet, training's on point, don't miss workouts for that 12 weeks, whatever it is for that show, powerlifting, bodybuilding. What I don't understand is, it's not that way with a lot of people off-season. And off-season is so much more important than it is when you're getting ready for a show. Basically, when you're getting ready for the show, it is what it is at that point. You develop the muscle, now let's just try to fine-tune it and bring it into it. It's that 3-6 months off-season that should be on point. You should be eating, you should be understanding what you're doing, not missing workouts, putting that extra size on and muscle on. Because I travel and we talk to people, and I go, so how's your diet? Well, I'm off-season. I just gotta eat what I want. And I'm like, wow, okay. It's just, you're not interested in this then. It's the guy that's, it really is the 24/7 guy that if you're a diehard on this. And I understand one thing, we think differently than the majority of society. We're a little bit more crazy in the aspect of this, and we're so focused in what we do. But this is one of those things that if you want to dream and do something like this and create a business and a lifestyle and a physique, it's 24/7, 365.
I think it's all relative, though. I'll disagree. I think in any type of success, that person didn't sleep. You think Steve Jobs slept? You think, Donald Trump? You think, these guys you see on Shark Tank and all these other major business people, you think they really have time for rest and making excuses and saying, I'm tired? They don't. They're narcissistic. I mean, they're crazy, right? But I think they're cool because they know that this is their niche, this is what they're good at, this is what they're passionate about, and they can rest later. They want to see how far they can take this. And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to see how far we can take this. I think any student, the person who studies the hardest and the smartest usually gets the A grade. They put themselves in a better position to win. See, so all we're trying to tell you guys is put yourself in a better position to be successful in whatever it is that you do. Unfortunately, with bodybuilding, like you said, I mean, when people say off-season, they do think like, oh, well, I can just eat burgers and fries and stuff. Your genetics are just not that good, let me tell you. They're just not. They're just not. And yeah, you want to have, well, I want to have balance, and I want, okay, that's fine, but don't be mad when you're standing up here. And this is my thing. Don't be mad when you stand up here with barely any clothes on and some guy kicks your ass on stage. Because you took 6 months and you thought that 6 months of just doing mediocre stuff was going to promote a physique that belongs in first place. It don't work like that. NFL has OTAs. NFL has all those off-season workouts and stuff. What happens when a guy wants to screw around and he goes to training camp? What did the coach say? Or what do people on ESPN say? Oh, he came in here overweight, he was unprepared, and that's why he got injured. He came in wrong. He should have been in it all year. The person who went from the second string to the first string was the person that didn't rest, that did say, you know what, this is my passion, this is what I want to do. I'm going to outwork myself and anyone that goes against me. The person that wants the promotion, he's BSing with everybody at the company party, but when everybody else goes out and partying, he's probably going out and saying, well, I got to write papers, I got to do more research, I got to do this, I got to keep my organization done. That's the person that's going to get their sales up. That person really wants to be successful. I want everybody to be successful, but I realize how hard it is. It's a level of commitment that only a select few can get. And that's why I love competing, because I know that every person wants it and I outwork them every single time. I know for Mike, like what you're able to do, what this gentleman's been able to do is amazing. I couldn't have done that. I mean, to be that, versatile and to have that type of staying power is remarkable. remarkable achievement. But it all comes down to a winner's attitude, a positive attitude. Every time I see him, he's always happy. He's always positive. That learn from him and learn from myself that no one's putting a gun up to your head to go to the gym or to go to work. You chose that job. You chose to go to the gym. Get something out of it. Make it great.
My approach. Right back here.
I have a question for you on the financial side of the business. But first of all, congratulate both you guys on just what you've accomplished. I think you both have incredible resumes, even before what you're doing right now. And I think that's the thing that excites me. And I lead a lot of young people and talk about the consistency and doing something great before you do something better. But I've been away from the competitive bodybuilding for about 10 years and been kind of hanging around it for the last couple of years. And it seems like every competition I'm going to, they're breaking new records on the number of competitors. And obviously the sport's getting bigger and bigger. My question to you guys on the financial end, what do you think the long-term possibilities are when you compare the financial end of the NFL, the NBA? Do you think that bodybuilding has a potential even to get substantially closer to competing on the financial end with some of those professionals?
No. Hell no. I wish. Hell no. Man, I wish because.
Sure. Well, let me clarify. I mean, when I say just to move the needle, I mean to be double what it is now, maybe triple what bodybuilding is now.
Well, I think we're making improvements. I mean, it all comes down to, recognition on television. When you're able to get on TV, corporate sponsorships get involved because of television. NFL and NBA and MLB, all this other stuff, they have a very long tradition. And obviously, I mean, they're filling arenas, night in and night out, every night. Bodybuilding shows are only, come on, like in the States alone, for pros, there's not 100 bodybuilding pro competitions in the States. You have 162 baseball games in a year, just in regular season. Imagine filling an arena of 50 to 120,000 people every night. The money is greater, it's just different. We fill the Portland's arena of 10,000, but that's just one night a year. If we were doing that every week, but that just does not happen. We were definitely a cult sport. I do think we've made improvements, obviously with the rise in prize money and stuff like that. We definitely have made improvements there. It does come down with corporate sponsorships. I do think the way that everybody's been able to benefit has been much greater than when I first started in 2005 as being a pro. But corporate sponsorships are huge. We would have to have a lot more shows for us to be even close to that.
I think something that's great about social media, and what you're comparing is, and for me, I can't comprehend. You can't compare bodybuilding to like football or baseball. But in the aspect of this, as an individual, can you make a living from this? 100%. And what's great about the last 3 years or so is that the individual has become bigger than the magazines, has become bigger than the vitamin company. You'll see that there's companies out there, Joe Blow's protein drink, and you'll get 20,000 followers and very little, nothing, where there's guys that have 5 million followers. And the guy that's got 5 million followers is an individual, fitness guy, physique guy, whatever it is, bodybuilder. He now can pull in the revenue instead of trying to beg for a contract. So you can make a living from this sport, but you got to find out 100%. You got to find out what's different between you and every other guy on stage, and that's what separates everybody here. Is that there's got to be more than a title. There's only one Mr.Olympia. All right, he's got that wrapped up. So you got to come up with something different. What's unique about you? What are you giving back in a sense, and what's creative about you that builds up your following so much to where the companies come to beg you. The companies, make you rich in that sense, and you're bigger than the endorsee. So that's something that just keep that in mind. Because people ask me, how do you get in the magazine? How do you do this stuff? Everybody's got abs. Everybody's got a chest. A lot of girls have great butts. It's what's the difference between them and the next person. person. It really is. A lot of girls have good bugs.
And you also have to think about, I know we were talking about this earlier. When you're saying, all right, well, I want to get sponsored, I've got like 100,000 followers and this, that, and the other. I mean, you also have to think like this. How much money can you make this sponsor? How much money, I mean, you're asking for like, let's say you're asking for like $5 grand a month, you know, and this, that, plus product or whatever. Can you make that person 50 grand a month revenue? Based on your story, based on, you know, all this other stuff, can you? And if you can, you have to be able to explain that to someone for them to say, okay, here's some cash. You don't, and you can't just rely on just social media. There has to be a certain level of engagement to where they feel like, all right, I'm gonna pay this person this much money and they're gonna post for me because I know I'm gonna get X in return. You have to find that out, and with everybody being their own business, you really have to be a business person. You can't just be one-dimensional.
She's posing. She's got a deep. Obviously, she found out what her niche is, and she's, yeah.
But, I mean, and the dog can get an Instagram, right? The dog can get an Instagram and get paid.
And she got an endorsement, so.
See, so there you go. I mean, but yeah, overall, I think with the sport itself is growing, with the individuals within it, you're just gonna have to work a lot harder to find that money, you know, and that opportunity. But it is out there because there's new companies coming out every day.
And it'll make you wake up, man, in the morning and go train, or keep you at the gym late at night. When you realize that society's changed so much, and it's I need it now with social media, give me the information now, is that it gives you so much more platform to become successful.
So to kind of parlay off of that, would you, or are you saying that if an athlete is successful on stage, they have to be focused on building their brand to be able to grow beyond the stage?
I would think so. It just depends. You think of, all right, so can I be Phil right now, not Mr. Olympia?
Be Phil, come on.
Okay,
be Phil.
all right, so let's just keep it real, right?
Yes.
All right, so I used to, you know, I worked for a couple different, right? I worked for a couple different supplement companies, right? Everything was great, it was beautiful. I really enjoyed that part. When my last deal ended, I had a choice to make. Either I was gonna stay there, go somewhere else, or start my own. I always believed in when the time came, you should just bet on everything on yourself. Because I won't fail myself. I go to the gym, and
You won't stop working.
You won't stop. You already have a brand. If you haven't been extremely branded by a company, you can say, okay, well, I could probably work for myself, and let's just see how this ends up. So I started my own nutrition company, and now, yeah, you know, it takes a lot of work, but in the long run, I will probably have made more money than I ever would working for somebody else. I already have, technically. So yeah, at some point, it's important to brand yourself wisely. And I'll tell you what, not every person should try to start their own company because it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of luck. And you create your own luck, too. But it's hard. You know, I guess my point is the top 10 guys in the world and what I do, they are not going to start their own companies because they know that type of commitment may take away from their craft. It's very, very hard. And you have to have a lot of supporting cast members that are having your best interest in mind and not going to rob you. But luckily for me, you know, fortunately for me, I earned a scholarship and I was able to go to college, get 2 degrees in business and IT, and I get that. When I was working, you know, for different companies, I was learning. I wasn't just signing autographs and taking pictures. I was learning, like, okay, well, what's behind the business itself? Why am I getting flown around the world? Oh, because of them, the gym owner, the supplement store owner is buying a bunch of product, and that's why they're sending me? Oh, okay, that makes sense. Well, why don't I just continually make friends with them, so then if I decide to start my own, so now I started my own and I'm friends with them, so now they're like, oh yeah, I've known Phil forever, you know. And, you know, this industry is very small, yet very big. if Mike decided to leave a company and stuff, he still has a great name for himself. If he was a jerk or something like that, he would be finished. But he's always stayed professional and this and that. That's why more doors will continue to open for him. You know, so for the other athletes that I know of, you know, as long as they're willing to work and not be one-dimensional just with their craft, doors will always open up for them because they got a great, you know, bandwidth. The internet has been amazing to all of us. I mean, there's no-name guys that can get paid off of YouTube, and there's people that get paid off of YouTube.
Yep.
Talking about us.
I was gonna say
talking
that.
about they be talking about us, right? And I'm almost like, where's my royalty check? Because seriously, like the person could do a web blog, talk shit about me.
Get 1 million followers, get paid.
Yeah.
Paid off your name.
Like that's crazy.
You know something you said at the beginning, you said if you're successful on stage and try to be successful, let me jump back. For everybody that's gonna see this video and everybody that's here, you don't need to be successful on stage. Let's jump back to the guys that are watching this and it takes 15th, you know, or 16th, you know, place. This is great. And first and foremost, get up there, compete. Just compete for yourself. For me, I'm a born barbarian that I need to fight another man, in a sense. And but you don't need to win. You can go out and create. You can't beat the guy that doesn't give up. So get out there, create it, even if you don't place well. If you got a voice, you got something to say, you know, get out there and build social media. Try not to piggyback something because that's gonna be short-lived, you know, like how they live off your name and haters will do their thing. But create something.
Right,
You know,
but as
create
Phil
something.
said, to be wise and smart about it, as you said, don't be a jerk, because you can't sell a product if you're, you know.
It's just not going to work. It's going to be fast money, and you have to think. You know, it all comes down to who really wants to work hard at their craft, and if they focus on just their craft, the resources will come as far as being paid or not. It's what you do with it afterwards that makes you a champion and makes you a giver. You know, if you give other people opportunity. You know, we both, you know, give out a lot of perspective to people to be great, and not just bodybuilding, but in life. Because we've seen a lot of life. I mean, we travel the world in different cultures and stuff, and we kind of see things differently. But to brand yourself as just a one-dimensional bodybuilder and stuff, I can't do that. I know that my career will be over within the next 5 to 10 years. I have to establish myself in another way so that I can still make a living and also keep my own personal legacy alive. I can't just say, well, there's Phil Heath, he was Mr. Olympia. I want people to say, there was Phil Heath, a human being. You know, and that's something that, you know, I'm really passionate about. I'm trying to bring out more notoriety to the sport as much as possible with this platform. I'll just say it most recently. I've done, and I'm sure you have too, a lot of appearances, but a lot of them have been for our U.S. military and stuff, so I do a lot of that. I've been working with the USO for quite some time, and most recently I was selected out of all of their celebrities or whatever to be a part of one of their annual galas in D.C. where I'll actually be, you know, seen with like Joint Chiefs of Staff and stuff like that. And I was actually invited to Joe Biden's house on the 19th to go do a similar event. That's because I wasn't being a jerk when I was signing autographs. You know, I was actually excited about meeting these people, these troops, and listening to them and just being a human being. And I was being rewarded for that. And that can actually help the sport too. And they say, well, wait a minute, Phil Heath is a guest at this event. I never knew that a bodybuilder would actually get that privilege. Well, he earned it because he was able to be more than just a bodybuilder. He was being a human being first. You know, he was caring about others. And then talking about his perspective about lifting weights and being excited and stuff like that. And, you know, I take great privilege in that. And, you know, we have an obligation. We have an obligation because we've benefited from this sport. And we're trying to just enhance everybody's perspective on being positive, fighting a good fight every day. And when you get knocked down, it's just an opportunity to get your butt back up and do something incredible. You know, each person is, you know, gifted at something. You just have to find out what it is and give a damn about your success every day. That's it.
Good stuff. That was my next question about giving back and paying forward. You just
Stay
covered it all.
Oh, for
Staying
sure.
humble.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
it's like he said. I got to go over to Iraq 3 times on USO tours, and there's nothing better. It's nothing better. And then it also it grounds you so much because for me, I'm sitting there talking to the troops and I'm fighting against them and doing gladiator stuff against them, which is cool. But these guys are giving up, and I'm just taking this aspect of it. But they give up staying away from, their families for a year. And I don't want to stay away from my dogs for a weekend. So it's like, it kind of puts it in perspective of, people are working so hard out there, and just stay humble with what we're doing and try to give back and do the best we can.
At what point did you guys realize lifting hands was?
Say it again?
At what point did you realize it was special?
I was 9. I was 9 years old, and I was a long-distance runner, and I got a newspaper. And I freaking loved it. And my 3 older brothers and my 4 older sisters all did martial arts and powerlifting and bodybuilding. And so I was following them. And by 13, I was on stage for the first time for bodybuilding. And I beat 20 19-year-olds. And I said, I'm staying with this. I love this shit. And I would do that, and I'd powerlift, and I'd do martial arts, and I never stopped, and my parents were supportive. But I knew at a young age. The one thing, I'm writing an article right now for Muscle and Fitness, and it's about just the only person you got to believe in. And I know this is corny and stuff, but honestly, 100%, the only person that needs to believe in you is you. Not your girlfriend, not your wife, not your parents, not anybody. If you believe in you, 100% you can do this. I've never been told by an expert, a doctor, or anybody that I can be strong, extremely crazy strong from the age of 13 to 46. Nobody's ever said that. Nobody said you could be jacked and buffed and all this for that long. Nobody. And I believe that.
I thought you were 39.
Huh?
I thought you were 39.
39, exactly. I'll erase that.
I'm out of here.
So yeah, it's one of those things. If you believe in yourself, and so for me, I was really young. I didn't know I believed in myself so much at that age, and I'm glad I did. Because I know that most people get to college and they're still like, I don't know what I want to do. But it was early for me.
I was probably, I know I was in high school. I was kind of timid, and I was a guy that, I remember my high school coach, he was so mean. I mean,
Right?
this was back like in mid-90s where coaches could still put hands on you
Yeah.
and get in your face and literally put hands on you. And I was dunking the basketball at age 15. Yeah, I was special, but like I think what was crazy is that I wasn't being special. I wasn't able to show that inner strength, and he would get so upset at me because I would never try to dunk in a game. I would try to lay the ball up, and some big guy would block it. And he was like, all you got to do is just dunk that damn thing, and the whole crowd goes crazy. And I was like, but I'm just trying to score the point. He's like, but see what happens, you're not scoring. And I was just like, I don't have this killer instinct. And I was just afraid. And so he embarrassed me. He benched me for an entire game. And then I remember that next practice, every time I laid the ball up, he made me run. He was like, well, you're going to learn. So he made me run, and I ran a lot. I ran a lot. And then I remember that next game, I was like, something just infuriated me, and I was just like, I'm just going to show him. And I must have dunked on this guy so damn hard, like, I mean, pounding chest, just going crazy. And then I started feeling myself more, being confident in my ability and just caring about myself. And then I remember going in my senior year, I had signed a Division I scholarship, and the reporter says, so you have a really good team. I played high school ball with Jamal Crawford that played for the Clippers. So he was like, yeah, you guys are probably going to win state because he was a stud. And he was like, did you sign a scholarship? You ever think I'm going to the NBA, this and that? And I'm thinking, man, I'm 5'7", 150 pounds at the time. You know, I'm like, I looked at the report and I said, I don't know about that, but I'm going to be pro at something. And I didn't know until I got the newspaper because my mom was like, "You see what you said?" And I was like, I guess I was right. You know, like I'm going to be pro at something because I knew I had something special in me, and I just needed it. I needed someone to kind of believe in me a little bit. So it was kind of different. I mean, I did believe in myself, but I kind of needed someone to like damn near slap me to kind of wake me up and say, "You are special. Go after it. Don't be average." And that's why even now I speak about, I went to the University of Denver, our mascot is the pioneer. Anyone that thinks about a pioneer, close your eyes, think, what's a pioneer? A person that probably stands on the mountain by himself, looking over, or some type of mountain, or some type of area, and he's doing one of these, right? He can probably do that pose better than me. He's better looking and all that stuff. He got the, see? So he's doing one of those, right? But what is a pioneer? A person that doesn't blend in. A person that stands out. See, so everybody has to be willing to stand out. So if you're a smart person, don't sit in the back or in the middle of the pack. Sit in the front. Don't be like, "Oh, well, they're going to make fun of me and this and that." It's like, yeah, okay, but why would you want to be with them anyway? You belong in the front. If you were a soldier and stuff, I used to tell kids this. If you want to go to the military or whatever, why would you want to even be in the middle of the pack? I would want to be the craziest dude there, holding my rifle above my head, screaming and hollering, beating everybody in every race, embarrassing everybody. I want to show everybody that I'm the man. I only get one go round at this. I really want to, if someone's going to say, "Man, this guy Phil, man, he's crazy. He's in that gym, or he's shooting baskets all damn day. He's studying, he's doing it." Yes, because that's why when the test comes or the opportunity, that window of opportunity comes, I was ready. See, you don't know when that your moment. You know, in the movies they be like, "This is your moment. This is your moment." You know,
You can always tell because of the clap, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm thinking of that movie was the Fighter with Christian Bale and
Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg.
Mark Wahlberg. And he goes, "This is your moment. Don't be like me. Don't mess up like I did. I messed my chance up. You go after it right now." He got that opportunity, and the only reason why he seized it is because of all the work. At age 9 or whatever it was, that's what promoted you there. When I went to Mr.Olympia, a lot of people ask me, when you won the Olympia the first time, like, how did it feel? And I'm thinking, your life flashes before your eyes. Like, you go all the way back to when you were a child, and it comes all the way back. Yeah. You think of every moment where someone told you no, or you decided to succeed, go through adversity, and just say, "I'm the man." And then you wake up and you're like, "This is why I'm here." That's why for me, like, I don't freak out about winning this Olympias and stuff, because I'm thinking, I wasn't just born for this. I worked hard from a kid to get to this point. I put myself in that position with my mind, and I followed it up with my actions. So in order for you to have that window of opportunity, you seize it, you have to do the work now. You don't know when your opportunity is going to happen. And what sucks in sports is that you only get maybe one shot.
So yeah, there's definitely a difference between, what I'm trying to say is believe in yourself. You don't need to be arrogant about it, but just believe in yourself. Keep it within, go into battle, do your thing, and disregard everybody else's comments towards you. Like he said something is, there's going to be a lot of naysayers, you know. "Oh, you're going to quit. You're going to quit in 3 months. Oh, wow, you made it a year. Oh, I didn't see that happen. All right, well, you made it 35 years. Holy shit." You know, it's one of those things. Everybody wants to bring you down to put them at their level. Nobody wants to see another person succeed in this sense, unless you've got a great crew of people around you. And I do believe in, you know, pick your peer group. Pick the people around you that support you and lift you up. But believe in yourself, because this comes down to those days that you're by yourself. And it's not the days that you feel good. It's the days that you're sick, the days that you're alone, you're sad, you lost a parent, and you still get your ass up and you still keep going forward. Those are the days that are going to separate you from anybody and everybody else. It's those days that are the hardest days. It's not, "I feel good today, I'm going to go train." Awesome. No. It's not those days, man. Everybody does that.
No, it's crazy to hear someone else have like the same mantra. I'm just like listening to Mike.
We are twins.
I'm thinking, if someone were to tell you when you were let's say 18 for boys and maybe 14 for girls, that, because they mature faster, I guess, that 80% to 85% of your life is going to be pretty good. 80, 85%, you're going to have a good day. Because, you know, someone hits you up, how's your day? Oh, it's pretty good, you know, it's good. Don't make the 10 to 20, 15%, you know, of that bad that happens throughout the month, everything. It's gonna happen, like some days aren't that great. Things happen, shit happens, right? But don't dwell on it because you are probably gonna have 80%, I mean 80% is pretty good. That's a good average. I can live with 80%. Just you know, just living, like not even trying. I refuse to allow life's challenges and that 20% to defeat me from my goals. So like you're saying, like when something bad happens, look at it like you're in the batter's box and everybody says life throws me curveballs and this and that. Can't they be hit? You have to think like that. If you can't think like that, then yes, you will be defeated and then you'll become this bitter ass person that sees the person driving the new BMW, got the girl, got the job, and you're gonna say, yep, he was just lucky. Man, he didn't have to work. Yes, he did. He stayed the course. She stayed the course. They decided that this is just a part of the game. This is just a part of it. I can't get to this next level. I can't get to this next level of excellence if I'm not willing to deal with this. So if I want to, I got 5 Mr. Olympias, and it's so crazy because I think about this, the same people that said after I turned pro in 05 that I wouldn't be anything, now I'm 5-time Mr. Olympia, and they're doing the same stupid thing. It's kind of like when your parents are trying to tell you to be good and don't hang out with the wrong crowd. It's because now you're an adult and they're still doing the same damn thing. Still doing the same thing, so you just have to continuously want to be better and use those negative days as an opportunity for greatness. And if you run out of stamina, that's dangerous, man, because that's a word that I don't think we ever hear in this sport or in life in general. They always say work hard and this and that. You gotta have stamina to do the feats of strength that you've done, to do bodybuilding or to withstand naysayers. And you have to be strong and have stamina to hear people tell you no, and you still hit that game-winning jump shot or make sure that you turn in that exam on time, even when you know you were going through a hard breakup or this, that, and the other happened. You know, not trying to bring it up, but like if your dog passed away, that would crush you, but you would still, life goes on. And you would have to use that and say, well, I'm sorry, but I still have work to do. I still got to be there for fans. I still got to do my job. You can't just be like, well, all right, that happened, and I quit. Then you'd be a fraud. You can't do it. You'd be a fraud to yourself.
Understand that we're not just, we're not at all talking just about working out and lifting and nutrition. This is our mind approach about business, travel, relationships, just how we approach everything. We think of moving forward, keep going, push. We're going to have bad days, we're going to have good days. Believe in yourself. One of the things too is you said, when did we believe in ourselves? Another part of it is when to just kind of don't get carried away with everybody coming at you and saying you can't do this or don't do that. You got to be your own man and woman. And it's okay, 100% okay to be by yourself in the dark room and think, I'm different than everybody else. And it's not an arrogant statement, it's just, everybody is different. And if you're sitting there and you're just by yourself, I'm different, I can do this. And I can do this for me. That's a powerful thing. That's going to get you up when people say, why do you get up at 3 in the morning? Because I want to work out at 4. And I want to get done with it and then get my career going. And I'm so psyched to do it. And I've been doing that forever and a day. But it's just because it's I believe in myself and I'm privileged enough that I did that long enough in the foundation work that now it's just natural to me. Now it's just something I believe and they can't change it. So it's in all aspects of life for us.
As far as cardio goes, you guys lift so much. How much cardio do you do on a daily basis? And then maybe Phil Heath, especially 3 months down the Olympia, how does that go?
I'm going to be completely different than anybody. I'm trying to take off 20 pounds of muscle right now. And I'm basically in a deficit all year because I guest post throughout the year. I'm always doing shoots. So my training and methods is completely different. This will not help anybody. So, and then I'm taking off 20 pounds for the role of He-Man. So.
Isn't that crazy? Isn't that stupid? Not him, but isn't it stupid that some producer is like, you're too big for the camera? We got 4K televisions with, you know, all this technology and stuff. Man, they don't need CGI when you got physiques like this. I just think it's ridiculous. Like, I just have to put that out there because that basically tells me that society is just not, that's just dumb. Like, you have a real life comic hero, but you want him to downsize for the screen. It's because probably they got some other actor that's a hater that doesn't want to look dwarfed next to him. Straight up. And, man, why can't you be bigger than Skeletor? I mean, seriously, like you're supposed to be, you know, like, I mean, to me, that's just crazy. That just doesn't make any sense. But I just thought I'd say that, because to have to peel off muscle for a role, like, I mean, I get it, but no, I don't get it. To answer your question about me, over the years, I've learned this. Don't screw around too much in your off season, and especially in my line of work. It's kind of similar. I don't have as many shoots as he does, but I have a lot of appearances as well, and I don't want to travel and eat bad, because it's very easy to do. It's very easy to do. So,
I'll ask you a question for you. Cardio? If you can, always try to cycle off of the training and tone it down. And still be able to, you know, move forward, but tone it down. You know, I see girls in California, and these girls are doing 2 hours a day, 365. I'm like, yeah, your body's going to change next year. As soon as this girl stops 1 hour, boom, she explodes. So there's got to be a taper time where you bring it back down. You know, and, you know, for guys, you should be doing even less than that. You know, you got a lot of muscle on you. And it's like him. It's like he doesn't need to do it because he's so muscular that food's just getting eaten up. But now you didn't ask this, but I want to ask it. You said you don't want to cheat. So what do you do when you get that desire to have something? Pizza.
okay, so we're talking off-season or pre-con?
Off-season.
Off-season. So off-season is like the biggest mind screwing experience, because I can't lie, last night I had a slice of pizza. It's still sitting in my hotel room right now.
Because he texted me a picture of it.
I had 2 pieces though. I had a whole piece of pie, I had 2 pieces. So I've learned that when I was younger, I would be like, just eat everything, especially after a show. Now I realize, well, is this bad food really controlling me that much? Does it really have a hold of me that much with my emotions? Why don't I just have a little bit of this, just taste a little bit and just sit back, and I'm like, okay. And then I end up pushing it all away because I'm like, I don't really want to have all this stuff. I'd rather go back to eating, you know, chicken breast, white rice, broccoli, whatever. And that's just how I am. I've conditioned myself to want that. And because of that, my body responds appropriately. Now, I will indulge a little bit, but that's just because for my mind, I kind of want that. So then when I decide to say, okay, the Olympia prep is here, I will never deviate from the plan because I already gave myself that opportunity to have a piece of pizza or ice cream. You know, I will
There's
never.
also no way you're cheating during pre.
It's just not gonna happen. Oh, it's just not gonna happen. I mean, because I'm too busy thinking I would not want to stand on stage with those little ass posing trunks on and to look at another guy and say, this guy obviously outworked me with the diet. He obviously didn't cheat on his diet. Because you can tell backstage. I mean, you look at some guys, you're like, damn, man, this guy looks like Kool-Aid. You know, like, round and, okay, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people don't
You had to explain your joke.
I get it.
Some people just look like they're posing at the backyard classic, not the Mr. Olympia. You know, like these guys are not, they didn't do their homework. And it's because they gave up, it's because they had a bad offseason, it's because they made a lot of excuses. Oh, well, I can just do more cardio.
Make it up.
You can't do that. You shouldn't want to, because your body will start going like this. You want exponential growth. And if that takes a little bit longer, then that's what you gotta do, you know? But you realize that food, man, we eat based off of emotions, man.
I'm 100%.
Girls like,
on
yeah,
that.
yeah, you know, but we eat off of emotions, and we just have to be aware of it so then we can keep it in check. When you learn how to do that, you'll be able to manipulate your body so much more than the next person you're competing against. It'll be amazing.
Yeah.
You get a couple more? Yeah.
What's one thing you both would have wished you started doing sooner, and what's one thing you wish you would have stopped doing sooner?
For me, I would say eating, like he was saying, because in the beginning, I had the mentality of powerlifting, so I would go win the Mr. Universe at 235 pounds, but then I powerlifted at 285, and it was just so much difference. And then Joe would call me, hey Mike, we need you for a cover, and I'm 275, you know, or 285. I'm there on the cover sheet. He goes, okay, we can make this work. Put 5 girls around you, we all cover you, good cover. You know, so it's one of those things. I wish I controlled the eating habits emotionally earlier on in my career.
I think for me it was understanding that the off season really revolved around, like I said before, understanding the different permutations of the different combinations of food, supplements, and exercise. So then when the contest prep came, it was easy. Now contest prep is easy for me because I understand, okay, this year, you know, I did a lot of white rice and sweet potato. That doesn't really work for me as much. I ate a lot of junk when I was first started out because I like junk food. Like, I mean, I was fresh out of college, you know, playing basketball. Basketball players don't eat right. Like, we eat Skittles and peanut butter cups and all this other nonsense. Now, basketball players eat better. They try to. But back then, I wasn't really concerned about it because I was always able to gain muscle very, very fast. And I had a lot of people telling me that. So I kind of, you know, walked in like, oh, well, I have the genetics. I wish I would have been better about it more often. You know, I almost wish I would have trained with that and dieted with that greater sense of urgency year round. Now I realize the organization with the travel, you know, I'm much better at. So I do wish I would have done that, but now I realize I am doing it, and I just got to be consistent so then I can compete longer and be healthier while I do.
Something else is live in the moment. I wish I could tell the young me to live in the moment more. Throughout my career, when I first got Gladiators, it was all about I had to win the fight. It wasn't about, dude, I'm on TV kicking ass, you know, and enjoying this and the travel and stuff. It was all about, all right, I got to fight again. I had 6 guys a day that I had to beat. And that had to go with everything. Going into Mr. Universes, traveling, seeing things. I never lived in the moment as a kid. And I've done it so much more now. And I try. I'm still not great at it. But live in the moment. Really, really take those days and that time and family and whatever it is, but live in the moment.
All right.
Now to live in the moment, like what do you do to like when you start thinking about the next show or the next lift, like what do you do to like take back and be like, okay, let me enjoy?
It's really tough because we are, and I think you're the same way, is, all right, so I guess it was last weekend in Seattle. Okay, I got next weekend in Ohio, then I got next weekend in New York, South Beach, Texas, and then out to Brazil. Okay, cool. Whoa, slow. Right now you're just in Ohio. Chill, I'm with you guys. I'm just trying to enjoy it. I got my dog with me, my girl with me. And I really tried to take moments of just trying to settle in it instead of thinking, hey, what business stuff can I do right now? And also, I got a girl that's a businesswoman that's taking care of about 90% of that. So I'm cheating a little.
It's tough because, think about it. I win the Olympia, right?
Yeah.
They're already talking about next year.
Yep.
They don't even allow me to even chill, right? I can't do it because we live in, all right, that's old, all right, next.
Don't mean to interrupt, but it is 100%. That's great. What's next?
Yeah.
That's how society is. You won the Olympia, now what's next?
But it's no different than, all right, you got some people that probably work in sales. You get salesman of the year, January 1st comes, it's a new quarter. So what you did last quarter? And, yeah, you got your award, you got your vacation for you and your girl and stuff, but what about these new, this new quota that you got? Let's talk about that. You're like, man, boss, like, I just wrote so much gross that I got salesman of the year, man, what are you talking about? Don't matter. So we live in that society right now, even, it just doesn't work. So I'm no different than the sales guy that gets hit with that stuff. And it sucks, man, because when you talk about living in the moment, it's very, very difficult because sometimes society just doesn't allow you to have that time. You have to do that in the privacy of your own home, on a plane, or in your car, driving to the gym. And, my girl asked me the other day, she was like, has it really hit you that you won this thing 5 times? And I go, not really, because, well, when is it going to? I go, thinking just like what he said, I got Cleveland, LA, Wyoming, and then I go home for a little bit, Canada, Italy, Miami, Moscow, Miami again, like all this other stuff. And our year is usually, man, like Dave would tell you, it's hard to even schedule appearances because we're booked a year in advance, if not a year and a half. So you already know, you really understand, like, we probably only have maybe 4, maybe 6 weekends to ourselves a year. A year. Just a weekend, like not a week. That's not saying we have 6 weeks just to do what we want to do. Like, it doesn't work like that. So it's really tough to try to live in the moment and try to just do you, but I love it. It sounds crazy. I love it though.
Isn't that looking for the next thing, isn't that what has made you so successful? Like being hardworking, like always being determined?
I just won't stop. Like,
Right.
I just won't stop. I'm always looking to be better, I guess. I mean, success breeds more, and I just don't want to leave. I just don't want to have a regret saying that, wow, like I didn't get to experience something. And I get to travel, we get to travel a lot outside the U.S. I didn't have a passport before I came to bodybuilding. I didn't own a passport. How many Americans own a passport and actually use it? We don't. Like living in the States, you don't use a passport. Europeans, they do, right? I get to travel the world to bodybuild on someone else's dime. I'm gonna be tired on that plane then. I'm gonna do it because where I grew up, no one is doing that. I get to have so many stories when I go home. I'm from Seattle. I grew up in a hood. Like, they do not see past the area, let alone another state, let alone another country, to experience real culture. It's crazy when I can dress up like this and get on a plane, sitting in first class, and everybody's gonna look at you crazy. They're gonna have these preconceived notions, a lot of negative ones at that. And then they'll talk about to their friends where they've been and this and that, and I can say, yeah, where's your accent from? They're like, there's a lady in here, over there, you're talking about, I was asking about her accent, like, oh, you're from the UK. It's only because I've been there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can actually say, like, I know where Portsmouth is, I know where Gatwick and all those other places, I've been there. I've been to Harrods, I've done all that stuff. And I can say this, like, I can actually say, yeah, I've been to Brazil. I know where that area is. And bodybuilding's been able to do that for us, so I'm always gonna be willing to, I guess, exhaust myself because there's benefit from it. Like, I get to see some things that if I was stuck behind a desk, I mean, I would never get to see that.
Just to finish that one of the things is, so we do admit that living in the moment's hard, and I agree with that. I just try to take the moments before guest pose, and I'll take a little time by myself and chill, or on the plane. It just kind of, for me, it regroups me and understands and makes me appreciate everything that I have, and that's also, it's just the appreciation for what you have. It's not what you have not at that point. It's the whole struggle of getting to the Mr. Universe or the Mr. Olympia is really the great thing. That whole character development of the days that you don't want to train, that you do go train, that days that something happens personally and you still continue forward and you become a better man at every show or every event. And I think you agree with me. It's like when we get to travel, we go to different cultures and see different things, it really does make you appreciate things and keeps you, I think, more grounded. I think I'm a heck of a lot nicer guy now after seeing so much that I have in my life than I was when I was a 20-year-old punk. So, you know, really enjoy it, live in the moment the best you can, but yeah, have that dire aggression just to keep moving.
Do you think, like, because I always think of, when I watch other athletes and they're retired from the sport, I always look at them and think they don't really want to retire because they didn't live in the moment. Would you agree that, like, what we are doing right now, there's going to be an end? And with that said, another phase of life happens.
Yeah, I mean, I think with anybody, with any pro athlete, there's a time where, all right, you're, like people say, you should get on the stage and do physique and stuff. It's like, I won the universe 4 times, I'm good. I want to do this other stuff. I want to get He-Man. And so there's a point where, you know, you want to keep moving and keep doing things and keep creating a new you. And so.
I had to ask that because I'm thinking to myself, I have to really enjoy these next few years because I know that I can't compete at the level that I want to. I basically gave myself 5 more years, let me just be honest. Because if I do what I set out to do, I'll break the record of 8, get 9, and then add 1 more and get 10, and then I'm done.
Put it out of reach.
But if I don't do that, okay, but that's my goal. But then I have to really, that means 5 years? That's gonna go by like that, right? Especially living in this schedule. I have to really enjoy every seminar, every interaction with people, because I still remember the day that Ronnie Coleman retired on stage. There wasn't a dry eye in that place because you saw a legend say goodbye. And I remember he got 4th place, and I was just like, man, one guy was like, man, why you got tears in your eyes over this? And I said, do you not understand what's happening right now? This is like epic stuff here. And there's a picture in the Flex magazine with Ronnie just like this, and it's his back. And he's just like this, and he's the last person backstage. You can see the cleaning crew backstage. And I'm thinking of this photo, and like, he's probably taking it all in. Now, I want to do that now through that time. So then when I'm saying goodbye, it's like, I really enjoyed this, guys. Like, but now I see myself doing something else. And I can walk away gracefully and just say, I enjoyed it. You know, but now I can focus on my next phase. And it's hard to do that when you're not living in the moment. I'm going to continue to enjoy being on stage. I love meeting people and guest posing and this and that. At one point in time, I'm going to miss that part. But life goes on. And I wish I would have done that when I was playing basketball because I loved high school. When I got into college, I didn't have the career that I wanted or that I thought I deserved, and I didn't enjoy it as much. Luckily for me, I walked away with a couple good friends, you know, from playing ball that I can, you know, still call friends today. And, you know, but I really wish I would have lived in that moment much more. You know, getting ready to travel, getting ready for game day, having those team meals, and, you know, I wish I would have got to know my teammates better. You know, some of them went off and did things, some of them did movies. A lot of guys did a lot of impressive stuff. Some were doctors, some, like, and I didn't stay in contact with them, and now it's like I'm 35, it's just not the same. So really, seize the moment, enjoy those moments, you know, with family too. Don't just make, you know, your job your idol. You know, you're a human being first. You always got to remember that, and just enjoy this experience. So then, when the next opportunity comes, you can walk right into it with a clean, you know, heart and a lot of energy for it. All right, go one more.
I know like a lot of people use bodybuilding for more than just like, you know, a sport. They use it to keep them motivated with whatever school or work or their family, just to, you know, have like a more driven life. And I feel like it's kind of like a closed wall thing where until you get into bodybuilding or competing, you don't really know the mindset and what it can do for the rest of your, you know, the things like motivate you in life. Is there like any way you guys can see to like reach out to the rest of the people, maybe like Arnold Schwarzenegger did with acting and politics, and then portray that bodybuilding can be a useful tool.
I think that's what we're trying to do, Phil and I, is, for me, is show that longevity, the old school of lifting heavy is bad for you, and it doesn't make you youthful. Weightlifting is one of the main things that helps you keep youthful longer. And I'm trying to, push out there and do that, and then Phil is basically our leader, our representative for the IFBB, is out there. He's doing stuff that's in, CNBC and everything.
I was on
man.
Bloomberg, yeah.
He's killing this stuff and getting out there, just showing that that it's so much more. It's the discipline that we put towards this, falls out onto everything that we do in health and fitness or in life. And I think that's what we're trying to get out there, like you're saying.
I'm not doing politics. I'm just not doing it. I'm just going to be honest right now.
We start my campaign next year.
Yeah, see, he might be able to do it. Like I said, he's got the look for it. But I can't do it. I think Arnold's has done an incredible job at, bringing some positive light to our sport, giving others opportunities, kind of like what Joe and Bed did for him. With that said, I mean, we both collectively have had, numerous fans engage with us and tell us their stories and this and that, and we're able to offer that perspective. Who knows what opportunities may come forth our way with movies, with other opportunities, commercials, different endorsements and stuff. For our job really is just to stay positive and show how talented we really are. A lot of people walking, down the street, and they are big guys. And the first thing someone says is, you play football, you box, or someone you wrestle. And I'm like, no. But I know a lot of guys that are so worried about what other people think that they'll admit, they're like, I play football. It's like, and you're a bodybuilder. Own it. It's okay to say, because they're so worried about some negative comment that's going to come out of their mouth. Be strong and say that, man, I'm a bodybuilder, and yes, I am educated. Yes, I do have other talents. Yes, I can speak well. Yes, I am that person. I think a lot of people sometimes get me misunderstood because I'm out there. I'm willing to tell people and show my talent because I don't want the next Phil Heath or the next person to feel like they have to hide their attitude. If you're talented, man, speak up about it. Share that with the world. Like, don't let them just say that you're just a dumb jock or a meathead and stuff. Someone called me a meathead, man. I'm like, are you crazy? Like, what? I got a lot more going on than just this.
I don't think too many people are calling you a meathead.
I don't think to my face, right? But I understand the comment. They're like, oh, you're a beast and this and that. It's like, this is what I do, but I'm a human being first. I do other things, and I want everybody to do the same. We got to wrap up, guys. We guest posing tonight. I'm really excited about it. Each and every one of you guys, I know some people that are competing here. Anyone that decides to get up on this very stage, and I'll say it again tonight, has my ultimate respect because I know it is very, very difficult to go through a diet, go through the training, go through the sacrifices, and still get on here with barely any clothes on to be adjudicated by strangers, okay, not just on Facebook, okay? So with those people doing the show tonight, good luck. With everybody that is interested in what we do, you're in the right place. You're in the right place. It all started with me being on an NPC show, watching people compete, and I was always saying that I could never be on that stage. I could never do it. I'm glad that I had, friends that said, yes, you can. Listen to those people, go into that mirror, and if you like what you see, say, can I get better? If you don't like what you see, change it. It all starts with your positive mindset and your attitude, your willingness to learn, and your willingness to be better when there's no one giving you any applause. Okay? When there's no one in the gym liking you on Facebook or Instagram, and there's no one around that, people telling me, Mike, yeah, you ain't gonna be anything, you ain't gonna be on no covers and stuff like that. I'm sure someone told you that nonsense, and here he has more covers. He got more covers than me, way more, okay? And I remember dating a girl in college that said that I would never be anything in bodybuilding. Oh, you want to do with fitness stuff? Yeah, good luck with that. So I made sure I sent the whole box of Flex magazine to her mom's house. You know what I'm saying? It was
Little motivation right there.
But, use whatever you got to use. Positive and negative.
Yeah, use it all.
You use it all, because it's instill energy. Don't just focus on the haters that we get or you get online to motivate you to get up out of bed. Remember, there's people that are silent that love you too. You know, your parents, your friends, your coworkers, they care about you. Prove it to them that it's, yeah, man, I'm going to kick some ass for you today. But I'm going to do it for myself too, because this is my life. I enjoy this life, and I'll be damned if I don't care about this life and care about my success.
And remember, don't do cardio year round.